probably a weird thing to ask, but can you just listen to those headphones for a second? I just want to see what it looks like when you have shit on your ears. How's that treat you?
Loving it.
Do you?
But you say something?
Yeah, what would you like me to say? Something about the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah. Coming at you.
Old dirty.
Just a sec, I'm almost done.
Are you raw dogging over there?
Yeah, man, it was a great read.
Hot.
Gotta give it up to you. What the fuck are you clapping for?
I don't know. I just felt like pretty happy.
I should give this to you to read. I know you're a big reader. It was interesting
Might knock that shit off the table, if you know what I'm saying.
hearing about the Wu-Tang, from probably the least popular member's eyes.
Yeah.
And you got.
See?
Didn't have
Capadonna.
Definitely didn't have much presence early on. Yeah, well, even Capadonna had a little bit of a solo career where you got, and surprisingly, Inspector Deck. Yeah, Inspector Deck was like
big overseas.
The powerhouse. Used to start, they used him to start off all the fucking most famous songs.
Yeah.
But he was last on the list to get his solo deal.
Yeah, true enough.
And that's, one of the many reasons for Wu-Tang's unfortunate demise.
Yeah. Let's just talk about kind of the state of things when we first got into Wu-Tang. I know you said a bit of a late bloomer on you.
Yeah. I slept on them for quite a while.
Yeah, what year do you think you first started checking them
out? Honestly, like, recently.
After you saw the show?
Show, the documentary. I feel like there's something else that I pulled from. I feel like this book. I feel like I just went out on a whim and thought that this would be an interesting read because this book came out before. Or no, it was all around the same time. Because maybe I saw Mics and Men first. That makes sense. So I saw the 4-part documentary.
Right.
And because in that documentary, they're talking about U-God. Like they're showing U-God doing some narrations for his audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably what got me onto reading the book.
Yeah.
And then the show came out like pretty soon after.
Right.
But, I'll get this out of the way because I am very happy that I am getting into Wu-Tang now instead of like back in the day, like being with a lot of people that were into hip hop and stuff like that. If my eyes opened to the genius of the RZA, I feel like I would have tried to be that guy that would have put all these different sectors of rappers, local artists, and combine them and try to do that. And it probably would have, who knows what would have happened from it. But, there's so many other things that I can take inspiration from when it comes to the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, inspiration is definitely
huge.
Firing off.
Huge. So inspirational, even above the music. I can't say that I can recite every single song of Wu-Tang. I'm not like a big fan like that.
No.
But, I have branched out, like, Iron Man is maybe something that I listen to the most.
Oh.
I was always a Method Man fan, but that actually, when I first heard Method Man was probably around the How High days when he was with Redman, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else, like, Old Dirty Bastard, you always heard about.
Fuck.
But Raekwon and all the other guys, like, I didn't even Raekwon I probably would have heard about, but my eyes weren't completely open to them like they are now.
Yeah,
for sure. Because when I got into them, they were already disbanded. They were all they all had their solo careers. So, I got into Ghostface probably the most. Like, I even slept on Liquid Swords for a long time, which I know that's your favorite.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about in a couple different ways later on.
Fucking hell, yeah.
So let's hear how you got into them. Or, tell me how you got into them.
Yeah, so music...
Why don't you just tell me how you got into them?
Yeah, music's such a big thing for me. Like, ever since I really got into music, or like heard music, like I was always obsessed with kind of like hearing more and stuff like that. So I was just thinking back to when because I remember it like really early on in their career, if they were like almost viral. You would see them on T-shirts and stuff. And I don't know if people had Walkmans or whatever, but people weren't walking around with boom boxes. It was kind of hard to even hear it unless you watched like BET maybe. Like, I don't even know if they were all over that or what.
Killa Bees coming at you.
I was looking up just some of the music that came out around that time, just to see like my head space. Yeah. And it was probably like mid 90s or something that they really popped off. Like, I'm sure it wasn't 93.
93 was when 36 Chambers came out.
Yeah. I wonder if that's when they started really popping off.
Yeah, they already had a lot of groups out there. Like NWA was the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
Was the southern, like the big group of the South.
Yeah. I watched a lot of Much Music then.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were huge on it.
It was a huge variety then, like around those years, like Green Day, and like I would get so hard in the music because like my dad wrote a computer program for a pawn shop, and we'd hear a lot of music through there, and kind of had like some of the people who fucking rocked Wu-Tang shirts were like kind of pieces of shit in my neighborhood too.
Yeah, well, I was actually gonna bring that up at some point, that people still wear Wu-Tang shirts, and it's one of those, like, it's a culture thing. It's the same reason why people wear Nirvana shirts, and they probably can't even name, reason people wear Pink Floyd The Wall shirts.
So just kind of a niche thing.
But like, it's crazy that the Wu-Tang are the people that, got into that echelon of this.
Yeah, and I listened to Pink Floyd like super early too. I remember it was probably like 95 though, that this Pulse album came out, which was a live album with David Gilmour singing and everything. And it had this red light that blinked on it, powered by 2 AA batteries. And that thing went for like 10 years. Like, it must have used so little. Yeah. Like, it was probably like the way that battery drained. It probably like eroded or something before it actually died.
And that's how... What's the point you're making there? That's how you're listening to Wu-Tang for the first time? No, the Pink Floyd album, sorry.
Yeah, so I was already pretty hard in the music. Yeah. And like people like the Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls, and like we're all into the pop groups, I found. Yeah. And I was so fuck that already. And like people used to give me so much fucking flack for listening to, like, I'd listen to The Who and people would be like, who? Oh, yeah. Like, in grade 8 or 9, I remember my buddy didn't like Metallica. And
who does?
Like, it was almost like taboo. Like, Metallica, you didn't hear all that often. You'd see on, like, Much Loud or, like, The Odd Time.
Fucking kicking up a fuss about Napster and shit.
Yeah, and I fucking crawled every music website I could find. Like, there was one that was Shoutcast or something before there was ever YouTube or anywhere where you could consistently see music videos.
Yeah.
And I remember one time they aired like all of the Metallica music videos, and just seeing them all was just like the weirdest thing, because you would only see them super sporadically. You'd see Turn the Page sometimes after midnight, because it had some nudity and stuff in it, even though it was blurred out. And so my buddy, right, yells Metallica sucks as we're walking up the road to go to the beach. And Dickie D, which is an ice cream cart that used to go around definitely my neighborhood. I don't know if you ever saw one. It's like a bike ice cream thing. Yeah. And the guy who was hanging out with Dickie
Wu-Tang reference. It's off Built for Cuban Links, Ice Cream Man.
Nice.
First feature by Capadonna.
Fuck yeah. And so this guy who was hanging out with Dickie D, he gets offended. He says, "My dad's name is Metallica." And he stole my buddy's hat. And my buddy was so butthurt because this was not like a joking take. Like, he wasn't going to give it back. Yeah. And I had to fucking appeal to this guy because my friend became such a bummer when this happened. Like, please give this guy back his hat. Yeah. It's fucking music, man.
Jack move.
It can be super divisive.
God damn it.
It's as divisive as a goddamn lobster roll, that shit. But Wu-Tang, was hard to find. But, you would hear a couple of the hits here and there. And hip-hop was getting super mainstream back then. Like, what year did fucking...
Like, I definitely have...
Gangsta's Paradise came out?
I definitely could have still named, like... Yeah. 10 songs by the Wu-Tang. Yeah. For forever, but definitely never...
I'll get there.
Actually...
No, I'm just kidding.
Knew this much about them behind the scenes until now. Mm-hmm. And, probably some of their biggest fans didn't know this much behind the scenes until now, because there wasn't... there should have been a documentary about the Wu-Tang decades ago. Yeah. But all this media is just coming out now, and...
there was a super scrappy one, though.
Really glad that the RZA is, the one to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when it comes to the show, like, I would hate for this to be directed by someone else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and one other thing I wanted to say. I kept playing that East 1999. Because, like, Bone Thugs and Harmony, I felt were, like, a similar echelon. Yeah. Like...
around the same time.
That was, like, another Nirvana shirt, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because these... rap in those days was kind of like wrestling. With the territories.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, and it just got worse, I guess, with the whole East Coast, West Coast beef.
Oh, but, that's true. You could wear your coast.
It almost doesn't matter that much anymore. Like, I know people rep where they're from, but it was like really like southern. You got your guys from the south. You got yourself, and then there was the Midwest. Yeah, is where you got like Bone Thugs from
Cleveland,
Twista and Common.
Oh well, Twista wins. Oh, yeah. It's the speediest cat on the block. Yeah. He's a celebrity overnight.
There's actually a little bit of beef between Twista and Bone Thugs, I think, about who was fastest fastest in Chicago.
Bone Thug is fast. Oh, yeah. On that Eternal album.
Yeah.
Holy.
But they're like the...
and the beats on
they're like System of the Down. Like, I always thought that System of the Down and Bone Thugs actually have like a lot of the same cadence. How they can go from one style to so smoothly.
Yeah.
So smooth.
And
System of the Down's crazy for that. How they can just go so fucking hard and then come back. And that's the same thing with Bone Thugs. They can just be, spitting like a machine gun and then they just get so melodic.
Yeah.
And like that.
Yeah, it's like there's singing in Wu-Tang samples and stuff like that. But it's definitely way different than Bone Thugs.
Oh yeah, because you hear it a lot in like Method Man's early stuff, especially. This is coming off of a lot of these rappers were doing like kind of nursery rhyme rap, just like the cadence, and there was a little bit of that like early Wu-Tang, but they didn't shine it like all these other rappers were doing. They went like grungy. And that's another thing why, they can't, it's the same time as Nirvana. This is the grunge era, whether it's rock or rap.
Yeah.
So they had this like really primitive way of rapping almost.
Yeah.
They didn't care about sticking, like riding the beat perfectly, especially in their like earliest shit.
Yeah.
It was just so like, mind blowing.
Yeah.
How different it was, how raw it was.
Yeah, but
this is off air too, right?
Yeah. Suck the butt.
Fucking charger. Lucky I didn't get a shock. Gonna lose that nail. So yeah, Bone Thugs.
Yeah, I just felt like they were of a similar echelon, and I slept on them harder than Wu-Tang. But I really only listened to a little bit of them, and Eternal is mostly that. Yeah, and I
know there's fucking Bones.
Song that I used to. I can't remember any of them. I was just thinking about them again. Like I just went back and listened to it recently, and I was trying to bring it up a few times just because I was so impressed with the fucking beat in it. So much of it comes off as hackney, and it's both tough and it's got like a fucking killer like groove to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's pretty outstanding, I think.
To this day, like there's nothing that even really compares to Bone Thugs.
Yeah, like to listen to it now is unreal.
Decades later, they're still of their own.
Yeah, and they're like...
Where like even Wu-Tang you could compare like ASAP Mob to, in a sense, where it's just like this huge group.
Yeah.
They had the fucking Golf Wang. I was really fans of Tyler, the Creator, and Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And they're doing their thing.
And there's like Danny Brown is like funny.
Yeah.
And offensive and talking about wearing tight pants and making fun of...
Young dirty bastard for sure. What were the episodes?
Oh, well, the first episode was the one where after he becomes Prince Rakeem.
Yeah, okay.
His most frustrating behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I really felt like this whole kind of episode encapsulated the sort of frustration that I like to build.
Yeah.
I
knew you were going to be able to take a lot from this.
Oh, it's just embarrassing how much I wish I could steal some of the ideas, and how through a couple of the ones that I watched that like I feel like because some of these things I talked about even before these episodes came out, and to see something in a similar vein. For example, the headphones.
Yeah. It kind of came to you at the perfect timing.
Yeah.
What I found really interesting about this episode...
I don't think the headphones were in that. This was in a later one, but...
yeah. And... yeah, so this episode's interesting because it has a lot of what-ifs. Yeah, you see Jizza, RZA, and Asan as like a trio. And also, Jizza's doing his solo thing. RZA's doing his solo thing. If any of these three variables took off, then there wouldn't be a Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So, like, for this legend to be made, these are the...
Just before we get into it too deep, I just wanted to ask one question here.
Sure.
You think everything in here is, like, kind of based on reality, or there's some big embellishments?
I know that...
is it the kind of... JFK? Like, a character like Kevin Bacon in there is a bunch of characters mixed into one. I think you might have mentioned that being the case.
Like, the RZA actually has, like, 9 siblings. So they put, like...
They brought it down.
All of his 3 sisters' character into one person.
Mm-hmm.
And there is little circumstances like that. Like, if you bring stuff up, I might be able to yay or nay it. Because I do know a couple of them, but I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Well, it's just like... It seems very vividly recalled. I know there's a lot of them to contribute.
Yeah.
But, they're all so busy. Yeah. It's hard for them to take this in.
Yeah. And, there's probably some that's more from RZA's point of view. But they're all there as producers, so they must have to sign off on it.
Yeah.
A little bit. But I think some of the, like, beefs and stuff might have been exaggerated a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So... yeah, we can talk about the episode now. You started me off on...
yeah, I gave you an episode from all 3 seasons.
Yeah. So it was the 8th episode?
Yeah.
And, like, great start. And come to find out, like, it's really the first time you see RZA with a girl.
Yeah.
In the whole series, like, once he gets a little bit of fame there.
Doesn't last long. No. What's that, pizza?
Yeah. And they're seeing armadillos. Like, the show is hilarious, as it is harrowing.
Do you think she feels the same way when she eats pizza than when they have sex?
Yeah, she was down for it, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then there's, like, a friend that was just in the other room or something like that the whole time.
Yeah, Lisa.
Yeah.
One of the names on the album.
Yeah.
And, like, this is such a shit-kicking for Prince Rakeem.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat, they're at the venue.
Yeah.
Which is funny because... we were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, that's me, the guy, like setting it up." And yeah, they're there, and just like everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Yeah.
And he can't do anything about it. Like, there's no hole that can be plugged in anything that he tries to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're convincing him to wear the top hat and, like, do stuff that he doesn't want to do. It's just all getting worse and further than what his expectations were.
Yeah.
And, like, even his buddies are showing up on set. And it's, like, the 2 that have beef and they're... Ghostface pulls out the gun. Like, I know I'm skipping ahead, probably.
Yeah.
But Ghostface pulls out the gun and someone comes up and they're like, "Here's that prop." This is no fucking prop. And it's like, what the fuck?
This is my set, dude. Yeah. What are you doing? But yeah, that's the first time you see them guys come together.
Yeah.
Since I've gone back and watched a few episodes after I digested that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is interesting that is the first time they really get that close. Yeah. And it is just a powder keg ready to go off between them two. Like,
yeah, exactly. I find Dennis's, like, I am guessing that Ghostface was
he's
really
so serious.
That's fucking crazy, man. Like, I almost find him annoying throughout the show. Like, he's just so high maintenance.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that, considering he's gonna take care of Darius.
And I know he does a lot. Yeah, he does a lot, but like, you know, it's just a lot of work. Puts in a lot of work, but he's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, you wonder what Cherie sees in him.
Yeah.
Because he's such a fucking wet blanket.
He's even, you know, he's having trouble writing.
Yeah. Gets mad and...
Yeah. Fucking curling up his face and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure out of the group, Ghostface Killa. He's Ghostface Killa for a reason, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah. But already the show, like at this point, first season, definitely set itself aside from, like, it's not a Wire. Or it's not...
But it has a lot of similarities to The Wire.
It does, but, the RZA made sure to add, some creative elements, some artistic stuff. Like, there's even, like, breaks off into a video game when your favorite character
it's wild, the things that they managed to pull off in it.
Yeah.
And nothing is, like, real, like, corny.
No,
like, it's all...
so well.
Man, this... cinematography,
it's amazing.
Ugh,
it just and another thing, like we were saying, how much they can jam pack into an episode. They're masters at, like, these really impactful but short scenes, and it's just like so much is going on.
Yeah.
That when you really do have that long scene, like, it's saying something. Mm-hmm. You can really feel it.
Yeah. And it really plays out, like, all through that beginning of the episode when they're in the place and his fucking shirts are coming back.
Yeah.
What else happened in there? Is it that same episode where the record, they have to pull all of the records because of the sample?
No, I think it's the one after.
Oh.
It's later on. Might be, and then...
but it's just all...
Marlowe?
Yeah, Marlowe.
It's funny because, like, it's like that's what Marlowe went when he went legit. Like, the last time you saw Marlowe, I'm pretty sure he's in that exact same suit. The last nail in the coffin for Prince Rakeem.
Yeah, watch him get fucking chewed up and spit out and have everything done to him.
And something that he said, like, he already had a beat, and they're like, no, we can't use that one, you gotta use this one.
Yeah.
And then they didn't even have the rights to it, so everything just shut the fuck down. And, like, have you actually heard that song?
The original?
I Love You, Rakeem?
It shows the music video, the actual one, at the end of one episode.
It's a jam, man.
Yeah, and I did...
It's a jam. But you can hear he has that...
it's pretty ham.
Yeah.
But it's so early.
But it's like Digital Underground.
Yeah.
The Humpty Hump.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about that nursery rhyme rap, like Slick Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like...
Derulo.
So you could definitely hear that in Prince Rakeem.
We love you, Rakeem.
But it's fucking awesome. I got so many ladies. I just gotta learn to say no. We love you, Rakeem. It's like fucking awesome, man. But yeah, the saga continues.
I just find it's just so interesting. You know, like in this show, like there's so much like code. You know, whereas Bond.
Yeah, Sean. I love that. You know what I mean, Sean?
Yeah.
And that's
it's like I was thinking like the temperature of my hot water goes to 122 on the meat thermometer. I'm like, I live in the 122.
The 1.5. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, you live in a 122. Yeah. Heard that temperature goes up pretty hot.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to get the lingo out there. Mm-hmm. But also, like, this is one of the things that I found have deterred people from actually following through with watching the whole show, is that not only do not a lot of people know all the members of the Wu-Tang, but they're all called different names. Like, they're not just saying, like, right off the bat,
they do not shy away from not letting you even know who these people are unless
Method Man, Shotgun.
Yeah.
Raekwon, Shaw, Ghostface, Dennis, RZA, Bobby.
Yeah. But that's who they were then.
Gary, Asan. Like, none of them have their names yet.
Yeah. And it's so funny how Raekwon jokes about that.
What?
It is Raekwon, I think, that jokes about the... I can't... You guys always change your names. I don't know what to call you.
Yeah, I think he's saying it to Prince Rakeem.
Yeah.
And there's great actors in it, man. Like Shameik Moore.
Yeah.
He is a phenomenal actor. And like Ashton Sanders plays the RZA. Mm-hmm. Like, they're all great actors, but these guys are the ones that I've already knew beforehand. Dave East.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that he was in it more. It shows how big Method Man blew up because he's not really in it as much as everyone else.
Yeah. On crutches.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I think like this part of his image or something like that. It's like a pimp thing, right?
It's like, you always have crutches?
Yeah.
This thing ever gonna heal?
Pulled an on Viv with Inspector Deck after season 2. I don't know if you noticed that. But the rapper Joey Badass was playing him in the first season.
Right.
And he's actually not in the first season that much. He comes in like the 7th episode or something like that, I think, where he sees the guy die and he's looking out the window. But yeah, they on-fived him in season 2.
Yeah, but these other 2 episodes that you gave me, I wasn't really familiar with the actors yet. And I know this isn't from...
I don't even know if Inspector Deck was in... like, I know he was in the one we're talking about now, but I don't know if he was really in the third one as much. I know he must be in there somewhere, but he doesn't play, like, a crucial part.
Yeah.
Some episodes are, like, predominantly following him later on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't wait. So, I just want to say this, because, like, season 1, now that I've seen, is a little bit more of a blur. But Attila?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Holy shit.
Debo.
This is, like, Wu-Tang and they get to have in their movie about them this friggin' Terminator character. He's the wildest guy in the whole show.
You know,
Yes,
walks in and steals all his cassettes.
And you asked me, like, before, like, what my favorite character was. And I said from the first episode, the guy who friggin' was gonna rob all high on cocaine, blasting through the streets, screeching to a halt, getting out, swinging around his gun, goes up to the people and recognizes them.
Pulling up on me? Oh, wait, I know them.
He's just so nuts.
Yeah.
And, it's sad all whatever that happens to him and everything. But he's just such a wild cat.
Because of those damn shoes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that dude, like, train spotting.
Yeah. Got caught in the back of a sex tape.
Cressy.
Yeah, Cressy.
What it was. Yeah. He's a funny dude, too. Yeah. What a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, you hear a lot about that in You God's book is how big the 5% was and how big the Jamaicans were. Like they were the big gangsters in Staten Island. Like you didn't want to fuck with the Jamaicans, and they were the ones that were bringing all the drugs in. But yeah, he's a crazy guy.
Yeah. So fucking greasy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get his signature.
Yeah.
Before the night's over. So he's gonna strong hand it if he's gotta.
Yeah. But, and he's trying to put on Ray, isn't he? He's got Raekwon over there spitting some shit.
Yeah, in front of the detective.
Yeah.
The one who turns out to be the detective.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's really spares him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, no, I'm like a rapper.
Yeah.
He gets in there and he just goes to straight business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he was lucky he got out of there.
Yeah. He is one of the most interesting story arcs throughout the whole show, actually, Raekwon.
Yeah. But you know what is super unusual? Just to jump back to Attila for a second. Because as soon as he gets out of jail, he's fucking riding with this guy. And he's not responding to anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a great scene.
Yeah.
Like, you've never seen this character before, I don't think. But that window doesn't spider web like that.
Yeah.
You can't break a car, like a side window like that, right?
No.
So, if that's not real, I'm not calling anyone in the Wu-Tang a liar on any of this stuff.
Whoa.
But
I hardly know the guy.
But if you bang a head against the window like that, I don't think it cracks that way.
Oh, yeah.
It broke the immersion of real life for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What, the video game scene didn't do that for you?
Look, you can't jump the shark like that.
Well, yeah, we're about to get to some really mind-bending stuff in this episode. Season 2, episode 6.
Is that what it is?
Protect your neck.
Yeah. Now, this was really the first scene that really preceded any other stuff that I saw.
Yeah.
I think when you had first... Did you start watching during the first season? You were all in right away?
Yeah, right away, yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't really till that scene that I think, like, blew you away.
Yeah. Something to show off.
Like, cinematically.
Yeah.
Like, just astounding.
Yeah.
But, like, must have got to win an Emmy.
Should.
Or maybe did.
Yeah. Just, like, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. And I don't know, because I haven't seen any more of that season, but it feels like sometimes they have the bottle in the desert scene, like shows where, they're just so into one thing that it just stays there. And it's not, everything snowballing and this and this and this. It's like so contained and there's so many things happening and kind of like dovetailing in. And Protect Your Neck starts out, he's under pressure of a deadline maybe. And he's just gonna like work at this beat and he's gonna stay in the studio all night to fucking work on this thing. Is that the beginning when he starts working on it? So he goes to a record store and picks up records.
Yeah.
Is that before this? Because I like scene.
Because the guy's snooping around trying to see what he's buying.
Yeah.
because he's the guy that he already made a song with Dennis.
Oh yeah, I didn't have any context.
He's like the little bit of competition there.
Was this scene before that whole when he gets into that? Because it's like the pressure, whatever. We gotta have this song in the next couple days, and it's what's his name? Divine.
Yeah,
is like his manager or something now. And I was like, oh, he's not dead or anything because he's living that drug dealing life.
Yeah.
And I was like, good for him. He might have been even in jail or something.
Yeah.
But he's in like super danger.
Yeah, he was in jail and he's getting in a lot of fights in there.
Yeah. Like Park Hill people, doesn't matter. We need to stay at Staten Island.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was not having a good time.
Yeah, because then Brooklyn, and that's actually when you meet. That's Capadonna, that he's friends with in jail.
Oh.
Yeah. The guy that's like from the other place.
Yeah.
From Stapleton.
Yeah, who's breaking down, and you can tell he's softening.
Yeah.
To the idea of this dude.
Yeah. And actually starts rapping at him right away. First time you see him, he's rapping over at Devon. Divine saying like fuck a Park Hill.
Maybe I don't remember exactly, but I do remember where that guy's like comes in the jail, Mr. Tough Guy. He's like, oh, now that I'm here, none of you guys use the phone unless I say it's okay.
Yeah, no.
What a piece of work that guy is.
Yeah. Classic scene of like whole family has to listen to you getting your ass kicked over a fucking...
Yeah, and the guy's pushing his luck too. Was that Capadonna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah. So
RZA,
it's established in season 1 about how he used to stay with
like
his uncle or something.
I just wanted to say, even though we'll jump back to Protect Your Neck here in just a second here, and I do love the uncle stuff.
Yeah.
Playing into this because I did see him earlier on, maybe in that episode even, like it goes back and shows his childhood a bunch.
Yeah.
And where he's like remembering with, these lessons, kind of.
Glow bugs,
yeah. Yeah, it's super cool seeing what he got to experience that helped, like he's so much different than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's interesting because Divine's actually saying in an episode that, going to North Carolina is the worst thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah, I think that was it.
But he's saying that because you don't want to hustle. But it's actually the best thing that ever happened to him because he sees something outside of that.
Yeah, he really needed it.
And that's why he was the abbot. He was the guy that could actually bring everyone together and get them out of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Powerful stuff. Truly is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what makes this so powerful is seeing inside the mind of the RZA trying to put a beat together.
But I just want to say, when I was watching that, I had no idea that RZA would have shot anybody.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And not even just one person, because then he gets in trouble out in Ohio.
Yeah. They come after him, and it goes into the self-defense thing, and, he winds up in jail.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And that's true. I don't know about the Attila thing. I think the Attila thing might be true, too.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact...
So scary. Fucking ransacking his house.
They talk about it in the documentary that he went to jail over some stuff in Ohio. Yeah, it was just crazy, man. And...
you think Cherie was getting off a bus at that same moment, man? And came up and distracted Ghostface?
That kind of stuff was probably, made up just to be able to interweave a couple things.
Yeah.
You never know, man.
But I mean, like, if you have that much material to draw from, but it is incredible, some of the stuff that they've gone through.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that it would be, like, you know, it's understandable, of course, in Shaolin, Staten Island, all this kind of stuff, but, you know, these guys are, you know, nothing to fuck with.
Yeah. True that.
As Darius would say.
Yeah. So yeah, you see. So yeah, like how amazing was that? Watching him, like getting into his mind, seeing the band.
Yeah.
And then starting to manipulate the drummer, the guitarist, taking away
elements, disappearing.
And how all the characters were conscious to this. So they're like looking around. Like, the fuck, is that going to happen to me next? Like,
yeah.
It was just genius.
Add a second drummer in.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your name? Or even like first it was the second guitarist, but it's the same guitarist.
Yeah.
And then there's two different drummers.
Yeah, double up the same dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so brilliant. And just what a way to visually show all of that stuff. And to pull it off in such a convincing, like, all the... It was so well done with the music and every... Like, the way it was manipulated along with the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The dynamics of it are unreal. Like, the editing of that, I would really love to see. And there may be a video on YouTube or, you know, something like that. Just to kind of see how all that worked.
Yeah, that would be a crazy behind the scenes. And, you know, this is something that I would buy the physical copy to.
Yeah.
Especially like, the 3 seasons are going to come out in one big box here soon.
Yeah. And I just love the thrill of the hunt when he has to go out and find something new. You know, I can relate to that so much. Just trying to find anything new to move that needle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can... Jeez. And with, like we were talking about with the guy following him. I didn't really clue in that this was a dude that he knew or anything, but, you know, I really got into the, like, you can't have anybody see, like, he said he found something, or maybe you could even see what he found, and but even just the fun of writing that scene where, like, even the audience doesn't know for a little while what he's got in the bag and where he's going to go with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it jumps back to one of those life lessons where you see where he got his love for this tune. Yeah. And he's just like, let's roll with this.
Because he uses 2 different, like he takes from one song and then he goes to a whole nother song and starts adding them together. But then even when they go to the studio, he's like, something's wrong. Like he gets Ethan to put some more bass into it, some more drums.
Yeah, he's got to max that thing out.
But it's off, and like none of the raps are lining up. Yeah. But he's like, no, it's not their fault. It's the beat. Yeah. And like, you know, how fucking...
mind-bending.
Yeah, like just how excruciating would that be? Yeah. Fucking... You know, what the fuck is going up? What's going wrong with this? Why won't this fucking sync up? Yeah. It can't be, maybe 1 or 2, but you get 9 people on there. There's something wrong with the beat, not the people.
And then he's like calling up his guys, like, I need you on it. Like he's missing another guy.
Yeah. But when these guys are getting it, and it's funny, man, they're writing on pizza boxes. Inspector Deck's writing on a pizza box. Raekwon's writing on a cup.
Yeah, it's so funny in a thing made about rappers that are known completely for it. Yeah. Like you almost don't feel like any of them are gonna be able to bring it because they're so distracted. Yeah, exactly. That you're like they're never gonna be able to come with it because they can't get their head into it. Yeah. But as Ray says a little bit before, I think, rap's a spectator sport, so they seem like they're all gonna get stage fright.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, and some of them are eager.
Oh yeah.
But then, like old dirty, I won't say it. Then we go, all right, bastard. Writes his old stuff.
Yeah, no, that was funny. You wrote this when you were 16. Yeah, that was funny. And I like how he's like choosing the order in his head. Like he's thinking this through so fucking much. Is like, all right, how this person ended. Like I think at one point he's like, it was supposed to be Method Man there, but he's like, no. It has to be Raekwon next, or it has to be ODB after that now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh my god. And like early in the first season when all that stuff goes down with Dennis, like I didn't know what was going on, like the first, because I did watch the first episode at one point and then stopped way back. But not for any reason. I did think it was good, but I had forgotten most of what happened. But when I went back and with Dennis and him, like when I knew the characters, and I was like, oh shit, this is like, starting out as enemies and everything, which is probably like super common knowledge. Or I have no idea how much of this beef and...
I haven't heard any confirmation that that's...
Because it's not like they be rapping in the songs about how they used to hate each other all the time and
No, but Raekwon split half of his solo deal with Ghostface on Cuban Links and did a duo album when it was supposed to be his first solo album.
Yeah.
He's like, let's do this and I'll give you half the money.
Oh, shit.
So, like, it shows how far they came if that's really how they started out.
Yeah.
But also, like, you hear about it in the documentary that, like, even if this stuff was happening at this point in time, when these guys all knew each other since they were, like, 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, they went to, like, primary and stuff together, so, it's stickier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then even how it breaks off.
No, sorry. What I was gonna say
Dennis point.
It was about Ray. Like, has to sleep on a roof and stuff. Get things put in like the fire hose compartment.
Has his chips.
Yeah.
Big eater, that guy.
Yeah. And you really emphasize he starts out as kind of like the Bubbles character.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. And like he's the one cooking. They call him the chef because he's the one who cooks the best crack. Seems like the one of the group that won't make it out.
Then turns to Dennis.
And
then to Risen.
Yeah, speaking of stage fright.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Ghostface is having a hard time in there.
He's just incredibly shook by this. He's got so much on his mind.
Yeah. Where everyone's just like wrapping themselves into their own little music video.
Yeah. He's lucky he's got somebody like Cherie, though.
That was pretty crazy, eh? Like when Inspector Deck goes in the booth.
Right away.
Cuts to him spraying the words on the wall and all this kind of stuff.
That was one of the things I wanted to remember when you mentioned about the video game shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Tagging
it up.
But again, like I've tried to do that effect before and it never works. The spray paint, because it's never spraying a letter out. It's like spray word. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks hokey.
A little bit, but it works well because it's so like high concept, the scene.
But it went into Raekwon's. I really liked Ray's, where he's like signing. He's signing bills and flicking them out, and then the word would come up.
Yeah.
Like I thought that worked a lot better.
Such an interesting way of conveying different styles.
I know.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I know. And then ODB is just like, I think it's just completely white out. And it's him just in his boxers on a bike, fucking biking around and stuff. Like, even that TJ Adams guy who plays ODB is just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's the comic relief of any scene he's in.
Yeah. And, I'm sure that the RZA, actually being family with ODB, like, made sure that character was made justice. So I'm sure, like, he probably was the comedic relief. Like, all of them have
like
just
the
crazy
John
Belushi
Belushi.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone gets their verses in. You God gets his 4 bars in. So he's officially a member.
Yeah.
And then, Ghostface. Pretty epic scene of him, like, all black and all the guys staring at him. It's either the time is now, shit or get off the pot. And it's funny because, this has to be somewhat true because in his verse, in the song, if you listen to it, he's like, says something like, yeah, that took me a long time to write this verse or something like that. So it's like very meta.
Yeah.
And then, bam, there you have it. Protect your neck.
Yeah. It was, you find it was, I don't know if you ever answered, was it a bottle in the desert type for that season? Like, it did feel contained a lot.
Yeah, but it wasn't random enough. Bottle in the Desert's supposed to be, like, completely aside from storylines.
The cat in the window?
Yeah, we'll say that. Sure.
So, that was our penultimate. Yeah. Now, let's get...
This is our cat in the window into season 3. We're gonna go to...
the Abbey to the Abbot here.
Liquid Swords.
Yeah. Yeah, so this one was interesting. Ditching their traditional intro.
Yeah, these are kind of more of a desert in the bottle of sense. Even though these have, like, meanings behind them. I
guess I didn't mean necessarily desert in the bottle, but like if these were like standout ones that felt different than the rest of the series.
Yeah, because they don't that's what another thing that's great is they don't overdo this creative shit.
Yeah. Where
it's exhausting.
Yeah. Like one episode will be like pretty gangsta stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then the next one will be like super focused and like the relatability of some of the stuff and like the contrasts and all the stuff they have to deal with and go through to make money and freaking Dennis sticking up people in the park for shitty watches and fucking hell. But yeah, Liquid Swords. I had no idea any of this stuff when I watched that.
I know, really. They're little standalone movies that they get. And ODB got one. That was kind of like...
Oh, actually, I should mention that I watched Protect Your Neck first. And then... Yeah. No, I did watch... So, I guess this speaks more as a whole. But basically, I watched Protect Your Neck first. Then I watched Liquid Swords. And then I went back and watched season 1 up to 8.
Okay, nice.
But I think I watched 8 early because we were going to talk about it a few days ago.
Yeah.
And so I've had time to go back and catch up to it. And anyway, I don't know why I made a point saying that, but I just wanted to explain why I didn't know any of the characters when I was watching Protect Your Neck. Like, it was hard to tell who everybody was and make sense of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Liquid Swords is a totally different thing. It's like Blues Brothers almost. Like get the band back together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a recruitment. You got to go around and convince everybody.
Yeah. But based off of like a kung fu film, almost.
Yeah.
Like these characters, where.
But the journey of
Old
it
Dirty
is...
Bastard has a standalone episode that's like a blaxploitation film, like set in the disco era.
Nice.
It's almost like Shafty, you know. And then Raekwon and Ghost have their own episode when it comes to Cuban Links. That's like a Italian mobster film.
Yeah, but it's like that journey.
So, yeah,
you got to go meet people one by one. Kind of like a reverse Kill Bill.
Get the band back together, because this is at a point where there starts to be some distance between the group. Everyone's off doing their own thing, and Jizza says, "I'm not making this album." Like, I don't know if there's anything preceding the standalone film, so you might not have the full context. But before that, in the episode before it, he's saying, like, they're dealing with all these fucking deadlines, right?
Yeah.
And Divine is the manager, and he's like, he's dealing, you guys owe money on these credit cards, you gotta have your album done, and these guys are looking at him and be like, "You changed, man. You're not one of us anymore."
Yeah.
And like, Men and Mike paints them in a different light. Men and Mike's. So, you see it from both sides, and you can be the judge.
Right.
But it seems like the Riz is really trying to make it look like give him some redeeming qualities, in that he was like really trying the best for the group, and these guys just couldn't think about it from the actual business perspective.
Sure.
They're just like, we're workers, we want money. We're the stars at the same time. We're the workers, but we're the stars.
Yeah, we're the icons.
Yeah, exactly. Icon, no con. So he's like, "Jizza, you have to get your album in."
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see that his name was Jizza by then.
Yeah, we're gonna get like penalties, and we're actually gonna have to pay if you don't get your album out this week. And he's like, I need every member of the group on this album.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
He goes, nothing's impossible.
I know, what a lofty goal.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember if every member of the group was on Liquid Swords.
Well, it didn't seem like Ray was going to get on it. With his big furry coat.
Yeah. And you see, because some of the skits on, I guess they're the skits of Liquid Swords, all the, the background story that goes, there's like, that's weaved into it.
Yeah.
And to have, like, it's so amazing to see a visualized version of it.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I know. And they got the whole thing with the map.
Yeah.
Where he's glowing, and like they're building the map.
Yeah, the get unlock the 36 chambers. Yeah, the like rebellion group led by Shuri.
Yeah.
It was reminding me of this game.
New God, wasn't it? Or a New God? I think it is, just because
I don't even remember, because
You God might not have been on the album, and that's why he's in that, because he's not one of the guys that he has to go looking for, because he wasn't on the album. So that's like their way of getting around that. I'm almost positive, or I might be getting it confused. No, it has to be that one.
Yeah, I'll have to see it again before I can, like, because they all had like nicknames. No.
Yeah, no.
And like,
it's always like
Master Killa's there and shit.
Raekwon playing this person.
Yeah. So I was kind of still confused.
Give all these guys another name for you to remember.
Yeah, exactly. So many names. Yeah, I never thought it would get to be a full thing like that. And so high budgety too.
I know.
Like it's definitely like a movie.
Yeah.
Like a full piece movie.
Yeah. I'm so glad that it waited until now. They waited until now to do this, where they actually could do this kind of big budget stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like it's almost like a Boardwalk Empire scale.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, you don't think about it as much watching it, but to like the caliber of acting and the discipline, even like I was thinking just logistically what a huge pain in the ass it must have been to like schedule this whole show and get everybody there and holy moly. Like I know like you get people dedicated, but that's so many moving pieces that it's just astounding.
I think these guys basically had to live like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Just to get this done.
Yeah, to like embody these characters so well.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal.
Yeah. How many instances are there where you have 9 actors that can actually, 8 of the 9 can actually sit with the person that you're supposed to portray and pick their brain? Like I guarantee every single member has at least showed up to set or at least had conversations with the guys and like, yeah, that's amazing. A lot of these people that do biopics don't have the luxury of actually hanging out with the person that they're playing. And that would just, like, help you out so much to be able to just pick up on mannerisms and stuff, like, face to face.
You're right.
Not just have
Biopics are
almost telling you about someone.
Yeah.
Even Old Dirty Bastard, you got everyone just telling stories, feeding you. No, he wouldn't say it like this. He would say it like that. And this isn't just like a director's opinion on how someone should say it. This is true facts of, I know this person, this is how he'd say it. If you don't believe me, ask him. He's right there.
Yeah, and even like the producers like are a bunch of them. So it could easily be too many cooks in the kitchen trying to make a movie if these people are on yelling that kind of shit at you. But
I wonder if they already had so many little beefs and like not beefs but just like arguments through them all. I wonder if any of this new wave of Wu-Tang media helped them all out or made things worse or
and this thing isn't the only instance. Like some of the movies that they're watching are like they gotta be redubbed, right? Because they're saying shit like motherfucker and stuff in it, and like some of them are just like completely redone to be like totally new. And the way they did they redid the I Love You Rakim video. They didn't cheap out at all. Like they showed it's very satisfying.
They recreated the whole soundstage and everything.
Yeah, like they could have easily just showed that video at the end of one episode and then never had to do anything. But they went through the fucking trouble. I'm just astounded, like almost in the same way that like a movie like Dune comes together. Like you might not have seen it, but when I saw that in the theater, like my not being as invested in the lore as some people, but just every second is just like if directing, I'm on the scale of somewhere between Tommy Wiseau and Denis Villeneuve. Because like I guess they both aim high. But who's like a bare minimalist? A Lloyd Kaufman, like a Toxic Avenger or something. But like this is like so much work, Like, everything you see is huge and so elaborate.
Yeah. And executed so well.
Yeah.
So this is something that you haven't seen from season 3, but I've actually been dying to bring this up to you.
Right.
Crazy, like I've been implying that there's something that I really connected to, and I would have told you to watch this episode, but Liquid Swords is quite something to watch and quite something to talk about. I'm glad we did. This wouldn't have necessarily
and it really excited me.
Yeah.
To be able.
Yeah, exactly. I knew that was your shit.
Yeah.
But so I was still in Bedford. So we're going like 4 or 5 years ago or something like that when I picked up this book.
Yeah.
And I do remember reading that while they were away on tour, God's son got shot.
What?
Yeah. But I wasn't even close to being a father at this point.
Yeah.
So it didn't, resonate with me as much as now being a father and coming and kind of forgetting about that happening. Season 3, they're on tour, and God gets a phone call. My kid's just been shot. Let me off the fucking bus. And he just goes walking off the bus.
God damn.
Next episode, he makes it to the hospital. And like already I'm like, holy fuck, like how would that feel for a father to get that call?
Yeah.
And you see the baby mama there, and she looks at him and she goes, Dante, I don't know if Dante's gonna make it. Man, I almost had to turn the fucking show off.
Yeah.
Like, for him to, like, are you kidding me? His name was Dante, for fuck's sake.
Well, that's because it's a unique name.
I know, but holy
because,
fuck.
like, if, like in 108 episodes of General Hospital, a Mike dies.
Yeah, but, like, I wonder how many people have children named Dante that are watching this show.
Well, I don't mean to be grim, but
that are under the age of.
Usually it ends with an inferno.
Actually, it ends with Paradiso.
Like the arson.
You only read 1 of 3? It's a happy ending.
Did you play the game?
Oh yeah, loved it. Game was fucking badass.
Yeah.
Like the anime too.
Oh, nice.
Did you ever see that?
No, but it is on Netflix or something?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
9 different animators. Every circle of hell.
Oh.
Different look. Oh,
right.
Look at me yawning.
Right.
I saved myself from that. That was only half shot. Caught it.
Yeah. Well, we just about reached the Abbot.
Alright, I'm gonna let it out then. Hey, everybody, get the fuck out of my house.
Make me. Why?
Right.
You wanna go?
What the hell does that mean? You saying you want a piece of me? You can stay if you know Elaine's line.
She usually goes,
No. I'll drop you like a bag of dirt.
damn it, I was remembering the bloopers.
Yeah.
Alright, that's
Rest
enough
in peace,
inside looks.
Rest in peace, old dirty bastard.
Jeez, that was some foreshadowing, Cups.
Didn't even drink.
Oh, how ignorant.